Hello dear students, and welcome back to our chapter number 17, breathing and exchange of gases. So today we are going to start with the next part and the new topic, that is pulmonary gas exchange system in human beings. Okay, so totally we will talk about the respiratory system of human beings. So I have already told you in our previous video that pulmonary respiration takes place in human, because respiration can be done through by lungs, right? So in human beings and other mammals, the gases exchange takes place by means of well developed system that is known as respiratory system. It is compound of many organs, but exchange of gases takes place through lungs, and hence it is called as pulmonary gaseous exchange, right? So yes, the respiratory system of man and other mammal, that is consist of, so first we having is SSR or conducting organ, or we can say air passage. Okay, so in mammal, the connection between the atmospheric air and lung of maintained by these organs. So the consist of all the following parts, that is nostrils and we can say nasal passage, and throat or pharynx, and larynx, tracheas, and bronchioles. Okay, bronchioles. Let's talk with the first part, that is called nostrils and nasal passage. So you can see in this picture, it is written here every part, right? I have written by pencil. So in the first part, that is called nasal passage, it forms the first part of the respiratory system. Nasal passage, that is the cavities are paired tube in the roof of the buccal cavity that platen bones from the partition between the two, forming floor of nasal passage and roof of the buccal cavity. Okay, so we can say that each nasal passage can be divided into three parts. Okay, that is vestibule, nasal chamber. Okay, so vestibule means it is the nasal passage that connect with the nostrils. Okay, and nasal chamber means it is the main part and has the scroll like tuberine bones in its cavity. Okay, now again the following two types of gland cells are found in this region, that is mucor cells and serous cells. Okay, so mucor cells are mucilaginous substances is secreted in these cells. Okay, mucilaginous fluid or substance is secreted, and serous cells, that in these cells it involve the secretion of watery fluid. Okay, so that is why our nose is so moist, right? So that is why watery fluid is secreted by this. And next we having is olfactory region. So it is the part is confined to the upper portion of the nasal chamber and the superior coaches. Okay, and it is yellow color. It has an unpaired lining of the olfactory and subepithelium. Okay, it is shown in here. Okay, you can see in your picture by your book. So we having many functions. Okay, very important functions of nasal passage. So that is that it helps in the serves as path for the air going and also from the lung. Yes, and it acts as a filter, because large size bacteria, spores and dust particle which can't be go directly by the presence of hair in our nose, right? Yes, and long nasal passage act as air conditioner, that is air condenser, that is nasal passage warms or cool, it inhales the air and bring it in its body temperature before entering the lungs. Okay, yes. Now throat, or we can say pharynx. So in this region, digestive tract and air tubes cross each other, and the opening of the trachea of the pharynx, that is called glottis. Okay, now next we having is larynx, that is also called as voice box. Okay, so larynx is a sound producing organ by which is the enlarged upper end of the trachea that located in the neck region, and other 4 or 6 cervical vertebrate. Okay, and larynx is formed of the thyroid, cricoid and paired, right? So epiglottic cartilages. So it is again divided into three parts, that is thyroid cartilage, yes, erythenoid cartilage and cardiac cartilage. Okay, these three parts here given. Okay, we can say that from the first part air passes through oral cavity, from the second, that is called laryngopharynx, and next we having is food move into the esophagus and digestive system, that ventral air moves into the larynx and the respiratory system. Okay, so it helps in various useful things. Okay, now lumen of the larynx, that is lined with the mucous membrane, and externally it is covered with the ciliated epithelium. So in mammal they have two pairs of vocal cord between the thyroid and the arytenoid cartilage. Okay, so that anterior pair of the vocal cord is the false vocal cord and posterior pair is a true vocal cord. Okay, so all through true and false vocal cord are present in a most of the mammal, but there are some exceptions also, like there is a Adam's apple. Okay, the name is present. Okay, so as you all know, in man the large sized larynx is known as Adam's apple. Okay, so in this way. Now fourth we having is trachea, or we can say the windpipe, right? So you can see in the structure I have written. So trachea, it helps in the like trachea is the rigid tube that composes of fibrous and muscular tissues. Yes, and in man it is about 12 centimeter long with a diameter about 2.5 centimeter, and it extends from the larynx to the neck to the bronchi in the thorax cavity. Okay, and this is ring like structure is present, and these rings keep the trachea straight, and it can expand slightly due to the pressure of air. Okay, and it also keeps the inner surface of the trachea wet and sticky. Okay, yes. Now next we having is bronchi and bronchioles. So this is the basically a structure of bronchial and bronchioles. So at the level of the fourth or fifth thoracic vertebrate, the trachea divided into two pulmonary bronchioles. Okay, the right one is slightly larger, and these enter to the lung on its own side and immediately divided into secondary and tertiary bronchus, and these bronchia branch into bronchioles. Okay, and each bronchioles again divided into 2 to 11 branches, which is known as alveolar duct. Okay, and this terminal end of each of the duct is swollen and sac like, and these are called the alveolar sacs. Okay, and or we can say the air sac. Okay, and their wall is made up of lung tissue. On the wall of air sac there are internal connected capillary of fine veins and pulmonary arteries. Okay, as per an estimated, the total volume of air sac in the lung is in man about 100 meter. Yes, so this is the four parts and different functions having with the four parts. Okay, now we can say that the main respiratory organ is lung. So where does it located? So lung are a pair of conical and highly elastic and vascularized organ that household to the either side of the heart, yes, and in the pleural cavity of the thorax cavity. Okay, and are connected with the pharynx by the trachea. The board and the lower surface of the lung, which rest on the diaphragm, is concave and forms the basis. Okay, so and where the pointed in the upper portion is termed as the apex. Okay, and right and left, yes, right lung is larger than left. Yes, this is also important. Now so here's history of lungs is given. You can see the difference between right and left lung also, and the mechanism. So whenever we are talking about the mechanism of pulmonary respiration or breathing, so inspiration or inhalation, yes, inhale and exhale, right? So inspiration means taking air into the lung, that is known as inhale or inspiration, and expiration means that is discharging of the air from the lungs. So I'll show you by the diagram. See this? Yes, this is inhaling and second one is exhaling, right? So our diaphragm, yes, in this diaphragm plays a very important role. Yes, diaphragm first pull down and again diaphragm relaxed and come on the real shape, right? Again you can see one another picture. Yes, this is also showing the inhale and exhale process. Yes, now yes, now next is the negative and positive pressure of the breathing. What is the negative and positive breathing? So during inspiration, yes, inspiration, the pressure of the alveoli falls below atmospheric pressure, so air rushes in, and during expiration, alveolar pressure goes above the atmospheric pressure and thus air goes out. So it is clear that normal breathing of a negative pressure breathing, but if the atmospheric pressure is raised above the normal and alveolar pressures, that is the maintenance of respiratory in a positive pressure breathing. Okay, so here some functions of respiration, that is metabolic role, that energy production, and excretion, that is it excretes CO2. Yes, and maintenance of acidic and basic balance. Okay, so and also the maintenance of temperature, like large amount of heat. Yes, a large amount of heat is lost in the, yes, yes, expired air. So all these things have to take care, right? So my dear students, yes, in the next you having is pulmonary air volume and capillaries. Okay, so what is pulmonary? So I'll tell you, a device which measures a rate of consumption of O2 by the living organism, or we can say a instrument from the measuring air capillary of the lung, that is known as pulmonary air volume and a yes, capacities. Okay, so we can see the capacities also, like tidal volume, right, complementary volume, vital capacity. So all these will come under that, yes, pulmonary air volume and the capacities of carrying height. Means this is a device which measures the rate of consumption of the O2 by living beings. Clear? Now nextly we having is pulmonary gas exchange. So here one table is given, my dear students. You can see by this table, this is very important and you can see, yes. So and one diagram also given here, it's showing the relation between the alveoli and the capillary. Means what is the relation between the alveolar air and the lung capillaries. Okay, so it is given very good, you can see by your book. So next is given is that is gaseous exchange between the blood capillaries and tissues. Means how it get exchanged. So as we all know, in the body tissue, that is PO2, it is very low, then about 40 mm, and Hg, that hence oxygen from the yes, arterial blood, where PO2 is about 95 mm Hg. So it goes into the tissue until PO2 goes down in 40 mm Hg, right? So in this way you can see also the gas exchange between the blood capillaries and tissues. So here one very beautiful, it is expressed that exchange of gases in the lung, that is external respiration, and tissue, that is internal respiration, and the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged in mmHg. Okay, so you can see by this cycle, yes, like how transport of oxygen can be done. Now how transport of CO2 takes place, and in different form, yes, in plasma and RBCs. So various types of yes, processes given here, and some phenomena that is related with the transport of gases, that also, like the chloride shift, yes, the oxygen dissociation curve, how it shows curve, right? And like one is Bohr's effect, that is Haldane effect. So all these things is given. you can read by your book. And next we having is regulation or respiration, means how respiration can be done. So as by the yes, nervous control, like diaphragm plays a very important role, like chemical control also, yes, and yes, and artificial respiration also takes place. So that artificial means we will see in our next class, but from here you have to see the regulation or respiration, like means the nerve control and also the chemical control, means how we can control by this process also, right? So you can read in yes, in brief by your book. So in next class we will continue with the artificial respiration. Okay, thank you.